Hello and welcome, yo peeps, to our podcast, VTuber Podcast Thingy. I am Nora, your host, the little bookworm, the tired bookworm today.
I am VQ, the cat mom.
I am Lulu. I am the gremlin.
And welcome to the Weeb Stop. Uh, I want to start with a story. I think I've told at least one of you this. But so I was today. I just started to think about my non-existent love life and boyfriends and stuff like that. And you, have you all been on many dates before?
Kind of.
Have you been on a date that you didn't know was a date?
uh, I've never asked actually, but I don't think so.
You don't think that? I have twice with two different guys, both times in high school. Both from the school band too.
I can't understand how you don't see it. Like,
Uh,
how do you not see it as a date or didn't know?
I thought we were just going as friends. Like, okay. So the first time, I'll tell you, this is the one I want to talk about. So the first time I was like, okay, what is going on? So this was when the Hunger Games movie, the third movie, part one, something came out.
Yeah.
Mockingjay or something, or is that the second one? Anywho, and we were talking about it, and of course I've read the books, and I wanted to see the movie, and I was talking to this guy in our school band. He's a year younger than me, about the books and how I want to watch it. And he'd also read the book, and he was like, "Yeah, we should go watch the movie. Then we can both see it at the same time, right? And then we'll just get some popcorn and chill and have fun." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, we can do that." And then I didn't really think about it, but he wanted to go to a restaurant before, and I was like, "Yeah, we'll just grab something to eat, And we just spoke like we always did, just about nothing and about whatever. That's not really important. And we got into the movies, and we sat down beside each other. And like 30 minutes into the movie, suddenly his arm is on the seat behind me. Like around me. And he gets closer and closer and closer to me, like closer to the armrest that separate our seats. And I was like, "Oh no, oh no,
Oh no,
what is he doing?" And he got and yeah, so and he got closer and closer and closer, and suddenly it's almost like he's leaning on my shoulder or something, and he started to kind of push me into his side with his arm around me. I was like, "Oh no, I don't want this going on."
Just be like, "I'm not ready."
Yeah. And then when it was like 30 minutes left of the movie or something, he was so close that I had to put my hand over my mouth because I was so afraid he would kiss me or something in the theater.
Oh man!
And he actually asked me, "Why are you holding your hand over your mouth?" And I just like, I'm very emotional right now. This movie's so emotional."
Just casually hiding my mouth.
I can't believe this is happening. Oh no.
Oh god.
And then we got out, and then he tried to like grab my hand so we could hold hands while we were walking, and I just kind of pretended not to see it and not to hear it or notice him at all. So I just started to walk faster, and he walked faster, and then I felt like we were like we were walking, almost running back to the the bus. And I was like, oh yeah, I have to get home. It's kind of it's starting to get late, and I'm so tired after today. And it had been a school day. Why am I gone?
I don't
Hello,
know.
my character is
you
gone.
you ran too
Hold.
fast, okay?
Whoa! Success!
Okay, so it's not only me, but my character is apparently very tired today.
Yeah.
full of energy.
It just knows your
Uh,
energy.
yeah. Okay. So I started to think about that today. I just really have to tell that story. Okay, your turns. I shared my embarrassing dating story, at least one of them.
I don't have like I don't think I have embarrassing ones, but I have dated a couple of people. And my first relationship, when I went on date there, or before we actually got, what's the name for it?
Together?
No, the other name for it.
You
Not
became a couple?
confirmed, but
Married.
no.
Yeah, right.
When you're Facebook
We're just
official.
That's the next step.
Official. When we got official. So I had like a thing with. I did not like kissing. I had a kissophobia or something, I would call it. Because okay, listen.
Kissophobia.
I was very little and I saw a YouTube video with X-ray of people kissing and how it looked inside the mouth, French kissing, and I was disgusted. And that
I mean, it kind of looks disgusting from the outside too.
yeah,
You don't
so
have to
I would
see the inside.
every time I heard someone kissing or something, I was like, "Ugh." So I just had to tell her,
Disgusting.
we have to take it slow because I have a thing that I can't kiss because of this video. And she's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. But we won't make it official until you kiss me. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Oh.
And I was
Hey,
so
that's gonna take a
awkward.
while.
Oh.
Yeah, we dated for
Blackmail.
like 5 months.
Ah.
We dated
Okay,
for
wow, that's
5
actually a
months.
while. That's actually a while just to date before
Yeah,
becoming official.
just for me to actually kiss her and have the courage or whatever to kiss her. Because I was the one who needed to kiss her, so she didn't do all the work or always the
Work.
man
Yeah,
in
so
the
she didn't have to
relationship.
do
I don't know.
everything. Steering.
And after
Yeah.
that 5 months, it was Desicon in Oslo. And I actually got
Yeah,
the
well, that was the
courage.
thing.
Yeah, I finally got the courage to kiss her awkwardly in the bed. It was like the smallest peck on the lip. And I'm like, okay, done! I'm
Oh
done!
man.
We've kissed, now we're official!
Okay.
It was so awkward. I wish I could redo that.
I mean, okay. So I'll tell you about my first kiss and the first time I initiated a kiss later, but I want to hear from Lulu first.
Yeah.
So,
Oh man.
so they get to share something too. You know, you can wait a turn or something. Like I tell my
I have
students,
dated.
do you want me to come back to you? Do you need time to think so I can come back to you?
No, I just can relate to the kissing thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Because my last relationship, I'm friends with the person from my last relationship.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
But she's very nice. But the thing is, I didn't dare to kiss her before, like a little bit in relationship. We didn't last very long because we just didn't work.
Yeah.
But like, When we did, it was so awkward. So awkward when I first did. Because I was just leaning in, like, can I kiss you? And just like, yes. I'm like, okay. Oh my god. I'm
Well,
just like,
that is
I'm
better.
sorry. This is so awkward.
That is better than waiting like 5 months just to just knowing your other partner is actually expecting it anytime, and you're like waiting 5 months until you get the courage to do so. I
Uh,
think that is better.
Well, it's
ah,
still, I'm just like, I'm just looking at her, like, can I smooch? Can I
Can
smooch?
I
And she's
smooch
like,
those
yes. It's
lips?
like, okay. And then the smooch, it was super awkward. We didn't kiss very often. We often held hands and stuff. And like,
oh, but
she's
that's so
very
cute
nice. Again,
though.
I have a very good relationship with her still, and we hang out. And she's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
yeah, I don't always get to be friends with my exes, but I'll talk about it
Mo- mo-
later.
yeah,
Yeah.
most people don't. It's quite normal not to be friends with your ex. Oh, okay. So, okay. So my first, okay, so I've had, okay, elementary school doesn't count with boyfriends. I had a
No,
lot of
no.
boyfriends in elementary school. And I got married in kindergarten and daycare. But I had my first long term and the only serious relationship I actually ever had. We got together when we were maybe 15, 16. Yeah, 15, I think. Like at the end of ninth grade or the summer after ninth grade. And we've been friends for a while then, like close friends, and we told each other everything, and everyone around us were like, oh, you're a couple, you have to get together. And I was like, no, I don't have to be with him. So I think that's why I just never told him I liked him or anything, because
Yeah.
everyone else was like, you have to be together, you are a couple, we know you're a couple. So I was like, no, we're not. And I am absolutely not now that you tell me that I'm supposed to be with him. And then we got together then after a year, 2 years actually. After 2 years, we got together. But we started to like walk his dog together after school, and then at some point he asked me to the movies, and I actually knew that was a date. Thank you very much. So I said yes. We were on our way home. In Oslo, we have subways, underground trains, people. And basically, we were supposed to take different ones because he had moved to the other side of the city. Right when we got together. So bad timing. It was a
Yeah.
long distance relationship for 15-year-olds. Let's just say that. It was a long distance
Yeah.
on each side of the city, of the capital of all places.
Yeah.
And basically, my subway came, its doors opened. They're only open for a few seconds. So I basically said, okay, bye, kissed him on the cheek, and ran onto the subway so he couldn't say anything or do anything. The door closed, and off I went on the subway. And I just saw him standing there waving back at me.
Be like,
So that
bye.
was, and then we had never kissed before or anything. So I was like, I need the courage. I'm gonna kiss him. I like him. I'm gonna do it. I am really gonna do it. I just kiss his cheek, like a little smooch, and then the random stuff. Ah, I got so much flake after that from my friends. My closest friend at the time, still one of my closest friends today. He was so mad at me for just running away from me
I could
right
understand
after
that
doing
though.
that. Ah. So yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
I mean, that when we actually kissed for the first time, like mouth to mouth, his little sister was right there. Like she just walked into his room and was like,
Oh.
"Are you done licking each other's throats? Dinner is ready."
Oh god.
And let's just say there weren't any tongue involved in that. I think there
No.
was just that was just smooching, like first mouth to mouth, like lips touching,
Yeah.
holding for a few seconds. And dinner's ready if you're done licking each other's throats. Okay. And then so his sister was weird. She always wanted to watch us. She was like basically 8 years younger than us too, so I was kind of weirded out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not a fan of
yeah.
tongue kissing at all. Because I had
I mean, after getting traumatized.
well, that too, but also my ex had like he loved tongue kissing. He almost stuck his tongue down my throat. That was
Yeah.
nasty.
Ugh.
It was like he holding me at place and pushing me towards him, and I'm like, please, no, I don't want to eat your tongue. It's nasty, bruh.
Like that's
Nah,
actually
it
throat,
tastes good.
like licking down.
Yeah.
Yum.
Like a cow lick.
Yummy.
Ooh, that's nasty, bruh.
Yeah.
I haven't had like a lot of relationships. I've been on dates. I've had unsuccessful asking out scenarios. Like in
Like you asked out or they asked you out?
I was always the one asking them out.
Oh,
When I was small, I was very
Hey,
courage. I had a lot of courage.
yeah, same. That kind of when that disappeared at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
married at some point in
Yeah.
daycare and in kindergarten. I had 2 boyfriends in elementary
Oh,
school,
bae.
and they lasted for at least 2 years each. So I was in a long-term relationship
Yeah.
twice as a child with other like 8 children.
In I think
Fantastic.
in 6th grade, I wrote a letter to a boy I liked in the class. I sprayed it with my favorite perfume. And I wrote
Wait,
my
you had
number on
perfume?
it.
Yeah, wait, you had perfume in 6th grade?
Yeah. The Britney
Oh.
Spears fantasy. I still have it today because it's my favorite perfume. I sprayed the
Oh,
letter down with the
wow.
perfume after I read like a poem. I was
Nice.
so
No,
passionate
no.
about it. I wrote my number. I didn't write my name, but I wrote my number because I was a secret
Oh.
admirer.
Name.
I was a secret admirer.
Oh
Oh,
god.
very
And-
secret when you give your number.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't that smart to
No.
say. I was not. I wrote a. Actually, I think that was like 5th grade or something. So it was very close to the same. But I had this guy that everyone said liked me, so I was like, okay, I can get together with him, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't actually like him. I was just like, I want to be with him if he wants to be with me. So I wrote him a love letter. I like cut it out with scissors into a heart that you could open. I was like 2-folded, and I had all these colored pencils, and it drew hearts in it, and I wrote it with my nicest writing, and basically it said, "Hey, I heard you like me. Do you want to be together as boyfriend and girlfriend? Please check box yes or no under, and
Oh.
give it back to me. Love, Nora." After under I wrote P.S. Don't tell anyone I did this. I wrote this to you, and I gave it. I just put it on his desk at school.
Yeah.
And then we were sitting 2 and 2 together, and the guy that sat beside him saw it, of course. And then, they were sitting discussing something, and I was in the back of the classroom, like, oh no, he wasn't supposed to show it to anyone. And then someone asked that the guy that I wrote the letter to do something or come over. And the guy sitting beside him was like, "Hey, no, he can't do it. Someone wrote him a love letter and he has to answer yes or no to be with them." No!
With the guy I wrote the letter to, I don't know. I don't remember if he actually wrote it, read it or something, but I know he threw it out, and the bullies got the letter, and
Oh,
they
no!
started picking on me for liking him. And I never talked to
No!
the guy. He never looked me in the eye either after that day.
Ah!
And
Oh,
after all, they
poor
had my
baby.
number, so they could cyberbully me too. And I was like, "Fuck this!"
No.
Wow!
Yeah,
Well,
I
that
was.
that got serious.
Yeah, well, they had always been bullying me on the bus from school, and
Oh,
now they had my number
oh,
to
those
even do
bullies.
it worse. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, fuck this. I hate my life right now. I should
Hmm.
never
Oh
have done
yeah,
that.
Oh yeah, you took a school bus or something
Yeah,
to from
yeah.
school.
And they
Oh
were
wow.
smart. They did
Yes,
it.
that.
They bullied on the bus, not at school or anything, so I couldn't tell the teachers and
Mm.
stuff like that. They only did it from school when the school day was over.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that's the worst.
Yeah. I
One
have
of the
like a
Bullies.
bully.
similar kind of story.
Yeah.
Um, where I think also it was like in fifth grade, I think. Um,
Everything happens then.
Fifth
it's
or
like
sixth
fifth or
grade.
fourth, I don't exactly remember. Um, but we got a kind of a quote unquote new student. I knew him from kindergarten, and I started in our class in fifth grade, and he was the youngest in our class, and I was the oldest.
Yeah.
And I wrote a oh god, I want to puke. I wrote a note that said, "Hey, I think you're cute. I really like you.
Ah,
Would you like to be my boyfriend?" I'm not gonna
ah.
tell my name, but it's from the oldest girl in the class. So you know who it is. And then I wrote, "Is it easy to be the youngest one?" And I don't know why I wrote that, but I did. And I made one of my friends give him the notes. And in recess, and I ran to the other side of the school. And when she gave him the note, everyone started laughing, and
Oh.
I was like,
Oh.
"Oh fuck." And I was bullied. I mean, I was always bullied by people ever since kindergarten, but the bullying got worse after that.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh man, yeah, I am going to shoot myself in the leg now." Yeah, that's it. The boy that got that letter actually began bullying me the most.
Oh.
No.
So
That is
No.
awful.
yeah, he even like one time he kind of knocked me into a wall, so I actually got
Oof.
a headache. Like it was seriously like it was tough, and he made it seem like I was some like it was in fifth grade, but he made me seem like some kind of whore for some reason.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's great, and it never
Bullies
stopped
are
until
the
I
worst.
moved away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it was ugh.
Oh,
Yeah, never doing that shit again.
one of my bullies, the seventh grade, the day we were done with all of that school, um, we
That's cool.
yeah, I don't remember the name, high school or something.
what, what grade?
Seventh, I told you.
Yeah, when you were done with elementary school.
Yeah. I took the bus home. I was already kind of sad because my favorite teacher, I was never going to see her again. And one of the bullies asked me if I was single right before I was going to go off, and people were like pushing him and be like, haha, you like this girl, you like her. And I was going off the bus, I remember. And I began to cry because I didn't know if this was bullying or anything, and I was already on my limit for holding it back, and that just made it worse. I didn't know if he actually meant it, and I knew he was one of my bullies, so I didn't take it seriously. But till this day, I don't know if he actually meant it or not. And I'm like,
Well,
yeah.
well, they say that those that bullied you the most were liked you the most in school.
Yeah, he
I
wasn't
don't.
the leader. He was one of the followers. The leader, my mom got to tell his parents because they were kind of friends. So he got yelled at by his parents.
And that was well deserved, I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
yeah.
Did all of us get bullied in school?
Probably every nerd gets
Apparently.
bullied. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I only had like milk cartons thrown at my head and
I
stuff
got
like that.
trash thrown
Why is my
inside the
avatar
bus at
doing this?
me.
Turn
Mhm.
around. Turn around, Avatar. Why are you doing this?
Try
Can you
to
turn
reset it.
around,
Reset
please?
it.
Turn
Please,
around.
why are you doing this? Can you stop? Turn! Boy, I'm gonna choke you! It doesn't.
Try to do the
It's
oh,
hard.
wow, wow, no, no, wait, wait.
Okay.
Yay! You
Yeah.
did it!
Uh, why are you doing this, my boy? I didn't even sit like that. Success.
I have another date story.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
happened 2019,
Okay.
so 2 years
So
ago.
not that long
Ah.
ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Uh, I had like this guy. I asked him if it was okay that I bring one of my friends on the date because I'm very awkward. I need someone to actually bring on conversation or help me. So I brought my friend Don with me. And he was kind with that. He was like, yeah, sure, you can bring him if you're more comfortable with that. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. We had that date. We played Harry Potter trivia. And then I remember us having another date, and I was on the date that time alone with him, but I was so uncomfortable because I didn't know what to talk about. I just didn't feel comfortable. I needed a friend there so I could be more open. So I just secretly Snapchatted Don then too and be like, "Are you busy? Can you please just casually come by this place and just walk in and be like, oh, VQ, you're here today. I didn't know that." And and he was like, "Are you sure about that? You could ask him if it's okay if I step by." And I'm like, no, no, just come by and casually walk
Yeah,
in and be like,
exactly.
please be like
Don't
that.
yeah, you don't ask the guy if it's okay if a friend comes by.
No, a second
So I like
time.
that they said that, and then the same friend too.
Yeah, and
No,
he
no, no,
comes
no, no.
in,
Just
and I'm
ask.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
did the right thing. I
uh,
think.
do you want to sit? Is it okay if he sits with us? And he's like, yeah, sure. He told me that he was going away for like a trip for 3 days that weekend. So he would get back to me if we would have wanted to meet again. And I'm like, yeah, sure, we could do that. We could meet again. He never got back to me.
Yeah,
I wonder
maybe not
why.
the best.
I wonder
Maybe.
why.
I mean, you use me as that type of like
Third wheel.
extra third wheel on it on dates before
I know, I
in
do.
Disney. In Disney.
Yeah, I totally forgot
Wednesday.
about that date.
No. There were 2 dates.
Yeah, 2 dates.
There
One
were
of them I
two
was
dates.
alone on, but alone with him, and then alone with him and his two friends, and then two with you, I think.
Yep.
I was very
Yep.
interested in this guy, okay? But
Oh,
and his friend seems
understand
nice and
so.
everything was just perfect. Only downside was that I was soon going back to Norway and he was living in California. But when
And
I
you were the
started,
Florida at the time.
yeah, when I started bringing Nora, like the reason I brought Nora for the second date was because on the date she first was with us, he started bringing up like, yeah, I was like you when I was a kid, until
Yeah.
I
Oh,
found
that's
my way
right.
with
Oh,
Jesus, and oh yeah, I was like that when I was a kid too, but then I found Jesus, and now he's a part of my
and
life, and
Jesus.
yeah,
And
and I'm
now
like,
that I'm an adult, I can do this, and I understand this better. So
yeah,
you, yeah,
yeah,
I'm.
it
But I mean, but
always,
I was like you. I was a kid like you at some point. He said
yeah.
things like that, and I was so uncomfortable. And apparently, first time he said that was when I was there, and I was like, "Holy shit! What?
Yeah,
What?
it sounded like
What
he
is that?"
compared me to when he was a kid, and I did not like that. I hate being
No,
compared to other
Yeah.
people
I
because I like to
I
be
know
my
he was
own.
yeah, I know he was a little older, but come
Yeah.
on,
He
he wasn't
wasn't
that
that
he was not
older,
that much
Like, calm
just
he was
few
that
down,
much
years.
older.
Jen.
Yeah, exactly. Calm down.
And he knew that I wasn't like, I don't have a specific view at religion, and I'm not like, yeah, my Jesus is all my life, and he's, if you marry me, you marry Jesus too. But he was like that. He was so perfect, but
Yeah,
then those things.
it started to get. I mean,
It
half
got
the date with
annoying.
me as the third, half the date with me as the third wheel. I tried to talk to him a little bit, and I mean, he was nice. He was
Yeah,
a nice guy,
yeah,
but I mean, the first half of it was kind of okay,
yeah.
even with me there. And I was actually gonna be like, "Hey, I have to go, so you can be alone." And then suddenly he said that, and I was like, "Oh, no,
Yeah.
I ain't leaving you alone with this not
I was
now."
like, I'm kind of
And then
tired of this.
yeah. And then he drove back to the hotel or wherever he stayed, and we took the bus home because we were like, no, we can get home on our own.
Yeah.
And then right when he like rounded the corner away from us, we were like, okay, so did you hear what he said back like 4 hours ago? Did you hear what he said?
Because I
What?
needed to be assured that it wasn't just me feeling like I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with that.
Yeah, and then we were both like, okay, so we don't know if we overreacted now or
No.
not. So, and then you were like, yeah, we want to give up on him yet. We may misunderstand something. So, we're going on a second date. Nora, you need to come with me so I can confirm
Yeah.
or not confirm, whatever. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, sure. We'll have a third wheel again.
It was
and
nothing bad with him. It just those few things that you nitpick on. It just gets too
yeah,
much when it's like small stuff, but it's actually very big for someone else.
yeah, so and then
Yeah.
the second date started like that. Like he
Yeah.
started with comments like that, and they got worse and worse, and he was kind of pressuring you about Jesus and Christianity and
Yeah.
Ugh.
yeah, joining his church and
Disgusting.
moving. And then suddenly he started to talk about you moving to California,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't even think the thought about moving to Norway for
No.
you,
He wanted
which
to
was not,
visit.
yeah, which was
Ugh.
kind. I think that was the final. nail in the coffin. I was like, oh, okay,
Yakaruni.
okay, you want me to move, but you ain't willing to do the same back for me. And
Yeah.
it wasn't because of work or anything, because he could work from anywhere. I don't remember what he did, but
He
he
was
could basically work from home,
almost
right?
getting a diploma for being a psychologist. Yeah. A kid
Psych.
psychologist.
Oh yeah, see,
So
kid
he actually
psychologist. Oh yeah, that's right, that's right.
kind of
He was
compared
getting
to
his
me
diploma.
with the children he had worked with too, and was like, yeah, I worked with the kids that had the same issue as you. I don't like being compared to kids.
It's like, yeah, I know you're almost a psychologist, but Jesus Christ, please
Yeah,
do
don't
not use
compare
that
me.
on me. Do not use that on me on our date,
Yeah, no.
please. Not like that, at least.
No.
Yeah, it was just the tone with that
Oh,
guy.
I'm sorry for talking a lot, but I have the last one I dated from Disney. Or I I dated two more from Disney. The last two I actually worked with. So
Uh,
the first guy was the first friend I got there. You kind of know him, Nora.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
The
Did he
it
work
was
at the ride?
Yeah, it was the guy
Yeah.
that left close to when you arrived or something.
Mm,
Yeah, starts at the
yeah,
T.
yeah. I think I know who it is.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
We went on a date. I would call it a date. We were talking about dating and becoming a couple and such because we had a lot in common. We liked each other. We really liked each other's space or whatever I'll call that. But uh, yeah, I had a bad day that day when he visited America back when he got back here.
Yeah, when he visited
Had a
again.
vacation here or there.
Yeah.
And I had a bad day, like very rude guests that day, and nothing went
Ugh.
right. So I was just excited to meet him and going on that date. And we
Yes,
even
right. Almost
wore,
that day. Oh
yeah,
no.
we wore matching t shirts one day. I bought us
That could
matching
be the yeah
Aganda
the
Knuckles t shirts
yeah,
meme.
I remember, and I didn't know the meme, and you had to explain it to me. I was working when you came with those t-shirts.
Yeah.
T-shirts, so sorry. Do you still have it?
No, I lost it. I'm so sad.
Oh no! Yeah, you need to show a picture or something to Lulu because
Yeah.
when I got the meme, it was hilarious.
So we wore those. We were matching t-shirts because I love wearing matching t-shirts or memes or anything like that. We went to his hotel and I was staying over there because I didn't want to take the bus alone back home and walking over the street and
Mm.
being ran over, you know.
See, they don't have side. Well, they
Yeah,
have sometimes they have sidewalks. They ain't got state sidewalk.
no. And
Uh,
he told me after that he was actually planning to kiss me and all of that stuff, but he saw that I was angry. And I was like, no, I didn't. You could have done that because I just was very tired and angry at people at work. Not you! You made my day better! And he didn't do anything, and then we went back to just being friends, and I was like, oh well. And the other guy, you know him. He
mhm.
had a lot of trouble at work, got reprimanded a lot of times.
Wait! You were with like dark hair and the car
Yeah, and a beard.
and the beard. No, why you were together with him?
No, I wasn't together. I went on a date with him.
You went on a date with him.
Dude,
So
you should
to a
have
date with
seen
him?
how we were flirting the first day he arrived.
Oh my!
Like,
What?
I was
You were?
on flirting point, and he was
He
back.
is. No. He is. He. Yeah. No. I never. I
And
never liked that. I never liked. I never really liked him. I thought he got like harassment things against him at work from girls.
yeah, but it was before that, because this was the first week he had gotten here. I was
I-
flirting so much with him the first day. He was flirting back, and
You
then
know.
I brought him to Magic Kingdom. We were there the whole day. We had good chemistry. Both of us listened to the same stuff. He understood my kind of spacing out with games in lines and such. He had no problems with that. We talked a lot. Everything was great. Uh, and I hang out with him afterwards sometimes too, because we became kind of friends. He mentioned he had a girl at home, and then that just broke off for me. I was like, okay, you have a girl
Mhm.
waiting at home to be your girlfriend. I'm not
Oh
going
yes,
further with
right. I
this.
forgot. He loved, and I mean, he loved to brag about that. The fact that he had a girl waiting at
Yeah.
home for
So
him
that
to
broke it
call
off for
her,
me.
just so he could be her boyfriend, or they could get
Yeah.
together as a couple. And she was just waiting there, and he could decide. I know he's yucky. I did. Oh no.
No, that broke it off for me, so I just gave up.
Oh.
I
Yeah.
just became his friend instead.
Yeah. No, I hated him at work. I
Yeah.
hated him at work so much. He
Now
couldn't.
you know
He
that.
did nothing. I didn't know he wanted to date with him. No.
Yes, I did. I would call it a date. I don't know if he calls it a date, because I actually asked him. I think I asked him to just spend the day with me if he wanted to join me at Magic Kingdom, and was very
Mm,
flirty about it. Yeah.
he probably saw it as a date anyway. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's
think
him.
so.
I mean that's it. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say his name
No.
because that's rude. But I mean, he wasn't the only guy at work that was kind of yeah,
Yeah, no.
they almost no I don't have any words.
No.
I can't describe them. There were like three guys that were okay. So basically, they were fuck boys. If
Yeah.
like flirt, they have a word for it in Norwegian. Kjørtjeger. Basically, a
I've never heard that word.
you haven't heard that before.
No.
Kjørtjeger,
No.
like skirt hunter, I guess. Basically, they run and hunt after skirt. I think it's an old fashioned way to say it or something. My family says it anyway, and I read it in some comic books and stuff like that. That's where I know it from, like Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
I
didn't
mean,
read that.
I mean, and I with the other guy, he was really, really tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So at the front or at the entrance of the attraction we worked at, there was this podium with a screen. And one day it didn't. Well, it worked, but it was really weird. It was vibrating a lot and making this
Oh,
buzzing sound.
yeah.
And it wasn't. I mean, the sound was very. It wasn't. It wasn't that loud. It was actually not loud at all. But we had to stand right in front of it,
Yeah.
and there were two of us basically always at that point, and it was me and this guy, the tall, like reddish brown haired guy that stood there, and he just looked at me. He looked at the podium, was like, in Norwegian, he said, because the other guests couldn't understand it. So, Nora, you want to get on the podium and have an orgasm in front of me? I need some entertainment while we stand here. I mean, just go ahead, just spread your legs and sit on it. I mean, come on, it's something you and I both want to happen, right? And I was like,
No, no.
what did you just say? Where did that come from? And then later we were at a party or at this place drinking. There were a lot of people from like the that worked at Disney too, and we were with the Norwegian people. There were a lot of us. Let's just say that. And he got really drunk, and I was 21, by the way.
Yeah.
That's how I got into that place. I was 21. And basically, he would get together with a girl apparently every single time. He would go out and drink 3 times a week, like 3 nights, the whole night through at parties and stuff like that. And then he told some other girls that we worked with that, okay, he was going to get together with me that night and he was going to flirt and he was going to hook up with me and we were gonna go home together and have sex. And he wanted to have it first up against the wall at the club and then go back home and have sex together. The whole night through. And then he said that to them and they were
No.
like, okay. And then they came and told me. And I was like, and I was halfway drunk, and I was like, whoa, no, 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 not him. I can't work with him. I know I don't want this to happen. And then he actually came over to me and tried to flirt with me, and I had to get the others to kind of drag me away to get away from him because he started to close his hands around my head against the wall.
Oh god.
He was really, really
He did the
drunk.
kabedonna to you.
He tried. Yet another one of the girls, and I don't like him at all, so no. And then, like 5 minutes later, he was making out with another Norwegian
Yeah.
girl, like right at the same spot where he tried to cage me against the wall
Jesus.
inside the club. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, a lot of things happened when we worked at Disney. I mean, I
Yeah.
loved working there, but some of the people we worked with, yeah. Oh no.
Do you have any more stories, Lulu?
Um, yeah, I've mostly dated on the internet because I am shy and I
Yeah.
don't like getting out and meeting people. And every one of them ended up terribly.
Oh,
Because people live far away, and I can be fine with that because I
yeah.
don't particularly need someone to live close if they don't wanna. But it would be nice if they could. But anyway, those who have dated that wasn't on the internet was also not so successful. Like I said, I am friends with my last ex, but I tried to date someone last summer.
Yeah.
She seemed very nice. She seemed very, very nice. Well, well, she wasn't. Um,
Oh.
went on dates and ate sushi, had a good time, talked. I was
Ooh.
riding in her car. Like I went home to her place sometime. We watched movies together. We watched, I think, an anime series. I don't remember. I showed her Animal Crossing, and I talked a lot about my interest. But there was always something off about her that I couldn't really describe.
Mm.
But always my stomach would turn sick and my
Oh.
head would start to reel and I would feel very out of it. And I felt like, oh, it's just my anxiety, it's nothing. I talked with my roomie about it, and she also said, like, yeah, something seems a little bit off seeing as you're feeling this way, but she seems nice. And I'm like, yeah, she does. Then eventually it just got more intense the
Uh-oh.
time, and I don't exactly know what the turning point was, but the last time I saw her, I took a bus to her place, and I could feel my whole body shaking, and I wanted to puke, and I felt like I had a fever and a panic attack, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? My body's trying to tell me something, it's just anxiety. I arrive, and we buy some alcohol, we buy some chips, some snacks, and we sit down to play a game. I don't remember exactly what it was. And I during the game I started playing it, and I started to feel sick again, and I'm like, oh my god, I am shivering. And she said, it's just because you haven't eaten. We put on a pizza in the oven, we wait, we eat it, and I feel better. I play again, and I just feel my whole body shutting down. And I'm like, okay, no, something is wrong. I lay down on the couch. I'm not functioning, and she takes over the the game, and she does nothing. She
Oh,
sits there and stares at the
Okay.
screen while I'm laying on the couch, shivering, shaking, feeling like and she just sits there. And she's like, you just need water. But she does nothing to help me to get it. And
Mm-mm.
like, yeah. And I go to drink water. I lay down on the couch again. I feel pain. And I'm like, oh God, this is not okay. She just keeps sitting there, coldly looking at me sometimes, like, yeah, maybe you should go lie in the bed. And I'm like, no, I don't want to lie in the bed. I'm not ready for this. I just want to lay down on the couch. And I get so sick that I go to the bathroom and I puke because I just feel terrible. And I text my roomie, like, hey, I'm not feeling so good. I don't know what's going on, but my body is telling me things. And I come out from the bathroom. She still does nothing. She just stares at the screen. Nothing doesn't barely looks at me.
Mm-mm.
Jesus.
And I am standing in the kitchen. I'm shaking. I'm freaking out. I'm like, what is happening? I can't do this. I feel like I'm sick. I want to go home. She's like, but it's late. Maybe you should just go lay down in the bed. And I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to lay down. I want to go home. She keeps saying it's late and a taxi costs too much and I'm not going to drive you home. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know. I know. I know that you're not going to drive me home. I know you have done it other times, but I'm not asking for you to do it now. Um, but I'm going to go home. I'm going to find a way. I don't care if I have to walk all the way home. And it would take more than a day to go home, to say the least, I
Yeah.
think. Um,
Mm.
I just said I'm not doing that. I'm not staying. Like I am not staying. I'm leaving. And she was just kept saying, "Well, you can lay down in my bed. You can lay down in my bed." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to lay down in your bed. You know this." Because what I think about the issue is that she was very forward, and I told her I need some space, I need some time. It goes slow with me because I have trust issues, and I need to get used to you. And she always said, "Yeah, I know, it's okay." But she always wanted to rush things. She always wanted to push me.
Yeah.
And she always stood
Mm-mm.
extremely close to me, up on me, to me, very intimate, and I did not like it. Um, and it was very difficult to tell her that because she's like, "Yeah, but you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone." I
Mm.
agree, but
But at some
not in
extent.
the beginning. Yeah, like take have some patience.
Mm.
And she didn't have that, and she didn't like say it outright that she didn't have it. She just kept manipulating me a little bit, I felt like. So anyway, that night when I was standing in her kitchen, I was just like, I'm gonna find a bus. And my roomie, I texted her all the details I could while I was panicking, and she found a bus I could take. She had to find a bus for me, not that girl that I was with in her house. My roommate had to do it for me. So I told that girl, like, hey, I'm gonna go on this bus, so I'm leaving. And she's like, well, I can follow you down. I can drive you down to the bus stop. And I was like, yeah. And we drive down, and I excused myself, like, I'm having a panic attack. I'm sorry. Um, and anyway, I get on the bus, and the instant I was on my way home, I feel better.
Yeah.
I feel
Mm.
amazing. I don't feel like throwing up anymore. I don't feel like I'm having a panic attack anymore. But I was a little bit shaky when I was getting home. So I think I spent time with my roomie. I don't remember. But anyway, 2 days later, I sent her a message over Facebook where I said, "Hey, we shouldn't meet anymore. I don't feel comfortable. I think you have pushed me a little bit, and the fact that you kept saying that I should lay in your bed was very creepy to me. You did nothing when I was struggling, and that just sends a red flag to me. So sorry we cannot meet anymore." And there was something else I wrote too, but whatever.
Yeah.
And she said, "I'm not gonna read all that, but we don't have to meet anymore." And
Okay.
and I block her because I don't want to talk to her. And then she contacts me on Instagram and she says, "You're delusional." She tells me, "You're delusional. Nothing of that happened. Nothing of what you said happened." And I'm like, "But it did. I was standing in your kitchen. You did nothing. And also, you've been pushing me like very suspiciously, like very like in between the lines so other people couldn't see it, but so I could see it. I
Yeah.
did not imagine that. And if I was
Mm,
delusional, my therapist would have told me a long time ago because he has been with me for 2 years. So, like, he
Yeah.
knows.
mm.
And I'm a very honest person, and I sense the aura of people very easily, especially if they try to get close to me. So I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't bite on that. And she's like, yeah, well, you are delusional because I know you're delusional. And next time you have a therapist appointment, take me with you. You are going to take me with you. I'm going to go with you to the therapist appointment so that I can speak from my side. And I'm like, why do you want to talk to my therapist? This has nothing to do with you.
No.
And she says, yes, it
Mm.
has everything to do with me because I was with you and I want to talk to your therapist because you are clearly delusional. You're tricking everyone to think that you're not. And I'm like, what the fuck?
She doesn't
Okay.
get to choose
I'm
who
just,
you take with you to
yeah.
your psychiatrist. That's not right.
Yeah.
You're the one
Mm.
to
I'm just
choose.
like, yeah, I'm not gonna take you with me. I'm not gonna take you with me, but I'm going to show him these messages so he can see what you're trying to do. And I blocked her because before she could say anything else. So
Yeah.
I talked to my therapist about this, and he said she's the one that is delusional because he knows me. He has poked around and talked about a lot of things together with me. Um and he knows how I work for the
Yeah.
most part. So like if I was delusional, I wouldn't be able to walk around. I would be harm to people most likely.
Yeah.
Um and I said that to her I think I said that to her and like I think she actually did claim that I was a harm to her and myself and to every one of my friends. I'm just like, what the fuck are you on about? What the fuck are you on about? So yeah, that was my date last summer. That lasted for maybe 1 month, 2 months. I don't know.
Well, at least it didn't go on any longer than that.
Yeah.
No, but it could very quickly have become very abusive, and she could have tricked me into staying.
I
Like,
kind of had
Mm.
one at the 1 year school. Um, because I was very open. I am kind of open to now too with the kiss phobia thingy. Still
yeah,
am not a fan of it. Like small packets, small snippets of kisses, small kisses. That works, but
Nib-
not like making out, eating each other's faces. And she knew that. She knew I had the kiss phobia
yeah,
thingy, and she got so. She held me down in the sofa trying to make out with me, like kissing me all around, and I'm like trying my best to just please don't kiss
Not.
me. I was like up with my head being like no 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 no,
No.
and she was like trying her best to kiss me.
You whack the ball where you're the ball, like dodging.
Yeah, I was so uncomfortable.
I think I know who you mean.
Yeah, yeah, you do. Oh,
Ah, yeah, that's not
yeah,
good. Not
no.
good.
uh,
And I've had the guy that I matched with on a dating website or a dating app or something, and he turned out to be very toxic before I got into a relationship and before I started dating him. Because I'm like, I can
Yeah.
match with people on apps, I can talk with them there first and use my time on that. But when they want to meet me and go on a date, I'm like, I'm kind of scared. I feel uncomfortable actually meeting people on dates, especially alone. I don't know why, but people just scare me.
Yeah. I
Well, if
get
you
it.
don't know them and you meet them on the internet, I
Yeah,
kind of get it. Yeah.
yeah, and I just back out of everything going on with dating. Like, I tell them, can we at least get to know each other better online so I can talk with you, get to know you a little better, maybe get comfortable with you before we meet, because I am not comfortable with that yet. And some of them have been okay with that, some of them not, so they just ghost me. But this guy, Nora, you know this guy because you had to take my phone and write to him, please
Oh
stop.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
Because
I
he
know.
began to be so toxic. I said that I wasn't interested anymore, and he was like, "Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Uh, I knew I was going to say something wrong. Can we
Uh,
just try again? And this happens with me with every girl, and I hate
oh
it.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it's
Because
not
you tried
your
to.
fault, but it is your fault to me," he
Yeah.
said.
And you tried to hint at him to stop talking to you, but you
Yeah.
wouldn't say it straight out.
No,
And you
because I'm
called.
scared.
Yeah, and then
I'm
you
scared
called your
as a kid.
mom. And we sat in the kitchen with her on speaker, and you
Yeah.
were talking, and you were writing messages to him that she told you to write, and you were both you weren't straight at all. So in the end, I had to take the phone and be like, okay, I'm just gonna write this because you refuse to write what I'm telling you to write.
I got
Please stop
scared.
talking to me. I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I had to basically write, hey, I'm her. Now you're talking to her friend that's sitting
Yeah.
beside her, looking at these messages. She doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Please stop sending her messages right now. It's making everyone here uncomfortable, that both me and her. And she asked me to write this to you. So yeah, stop. And I had to do it like a few times.
Yeah. I don't
Uh,
know what it is, but I get scared
and
and
then
uncomfortable of meeting guys, but not girls. Like girls I can meet and go on a date and go out on a date in public or something like that. But when guys ask me out for a date, I'm like, I'm sorry. I have a lot to do recently. Like my schedule is
yeah,
fully booked. I want to meet you
Yeah.
and I really do,
but
but
I can't.
I know. But
It's the huge me.
yeah, but I really actually want to meet them, but I just don't uh I can't. I
At
physically
least you get
can't
asked
meet them.
out.
And I want to have my friends with me just so I have like a comfortable space with me. But then that looks weird too, if you get it.
Mm,
Because I was
yep.
told like the first date is what we each other shows what they will expect in the relationship. So if you are on your phone a lot under the first date, then you know that that person is going to be on the phone a lot in a relationship. And me having friends with me will tell them that, yeah, you don't have any alone time and you're always with your friends. You will
Yep.
always see this person with this person.
I mean, this one guy. I mean, the one guy you dated like a few years ago. You know
Yeah,
that
with Don.
always wanted. Yeah, and then no, yeah, and then you always wanted to. He always wanted to have you alone, all for himself. He didn't like any of your friends at all.
Oh, fuck
Uh-huh.
him.
Was
Fuck
it
him.
the
Yeah, him, that
photographer?
guy.
Was it the
That guy.
photographer?
No, the cosplayer.
Oh, the toxic ex.
Yeah, the toxic one.
The actual ex relationship that I had.
Yeah, the manipulative
Yeah.
bullshit.
Well, I didn't see any of the flags because I thought he was just the depression, the anxiety, social anxiety, and such.
I mean, it could have been that too, but he
No,
was
it got
he.
worse.
It got worse.
He
I thought he just
manipulated me
didn't.
with the
Yeah,
depression.
I just thought he didn't like me because every time I was home at the same time that you were at
Yeah.
our house or our home, and you were sitting in the living room, and you asked me, "Hey, movie with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." He would like hold you closer and
Yeah.
touch your thigh, like right on the inside of your thigh, right in front of me, and he would look at me strangely. And he would refuse to talk to me, even though I tried to talk to him.
Yeah.
And he would just give me these cold stares,
He was
cold
that.
looks.
He was even worse than that at one of the convention I went to with
Yeah, and I'm
him.
so glad I wasn't there just for that.
God, I wish I
Oh,
just canceled the whole thing because that would be
you
better.
were kind of already broken up, so
Despise
you had
him.
to. Yeah,
Yeah.
you had to share a hotel room with him.
And not a hotel even. It was an Airbnb, but the people were home. So I felt uncomfortable as hell being there because it
Yeah.
was unknown people in their home.
Mm.
And I just, why do we need to be here? He wanted to do a lot of things in that room that weekend. And I was like,
Mm.
no, there are unknown
There are
people
people
here.
here. There are people here.
We don't live here. I am not comfortable at all. Like, he pushed
Oh,
me to a lot of things.
yeah, and that time you went to the pool with him, and you asked
Yeah.
me to come along with you, and I was like, "Ugh, and I have to third wheel with you again with that guy. And luckily, a friend of mine could come too, so I was hanging out with her, and he would just kind of carry you off, basically away from us.
Yeah. One time
Ah,
there, he actually carried me up from the pool, but he tossed me into the water again, and I didn't expect that, and I hate that. And I didn't expect that, so I didn't know to hold my breath or anything like that. He just suddenly did it, and I hate when people do that because I never want to
Mm.
be done like that. I don't like being tossed in the water because I can't I can't hold my breath without holding onto my nose.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Really?
so yeah.
Oh,
So I have a
huh.
problem with that, and he didn't even ask, he didn't know, and I got like kind of scared because uh this has happened so many times when I didn't like it too.
Mm.
Ah.
And I
Yeah,
was
I
like
just rem-
walking around eggshells with him like every day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
yeah, I mean, do you what the day I got? Okay, so one day or for the Easter vacation or something. I think it was Easter
Yeah.
or the winter break, either or. I went to visit my family up north, and then I came home on Saturday night, something like that, like in the 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
And when I got home, you were sitting there, and then suddenly, like on the couch, and then suddenly he started to send you messages because
Yeah.
you had told him that you needed some time, like a week or two, just away from him because
No,
he
I
wanted to
told
spend
him
everything.
I was going to visit my mom for the weekend because I
Oh
hadn't
yeah,
visited
yeah,
them in like 1 or 2 months, and I felt like
yeah,
they wanted me to visit them. And he began to drink that night, send me a lot of
yep,
snaps, being like, "Hello,
yeah.
darkness,
Pictures
my
of the
old friend."
alcohol.
Yeah.
pictures of the alcohol, and like, I'm drowning my sorrows in alcohol. I wish I would just
Yeah.
drown away my
Oh.
life. It got
Asking
dark. It was
he
dark.
he asked
Oh
if I really liked him or really loved him, and I had to
yeah,
explain
he
that,
asked
and
if
he
you
was
loved
like, "Are
him.
you sure?" Because I don't feel like that.
Yeah,
And yeah,
since you don't want to spend any time with me at all.
yeah,
And he was, I remember he was mad because you called me. You never called me. You just sent messages. You called me and was like, he's mad at me.
yeah,
He's like really mad at me for wanting to spend a weekend or a week with my family after a couple of months away from them.
yeah,
And because he wanted to be with you every single day, and you had to set boundaries and be like, we need some we know we're not spending every single day together.
yeah. No,
That's
I need
actually just a little
space.
too much.
I
Yeah,
need a
it's
breathing room.
it's normal to need a little breathing room. You don't have to spend every single hour every single day with the
Yeah.
same person. You will go bonkers.
Yeah, and I'm not like
Yeah,
that
exactly.
touchy-feely person. Like, I don't like to physical contact all the time. I don't like hugs. Like there are very few people I hug or friends I haven't seen in like years. Then I make an exception.
Hmm.
Holding hands can go for like 10 minutes or so, and then I'm like, okay, and now I want my hand back and back in my pocket or anything, because then I feel safe. I don't
But
like
yeah,
really
you
physical
Yeah.
contacts at all, actually.
you used up your quota. Now I want my hand back.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
But I am weird with physical contact because I can do it in very little time. Like the kissing and such, it can be like not all the time. Um I'm a person
Hmm.
that doesn't want to see like lovey-dovey things out in the open when I'm just doing my stuff in the town or something. I'm not there to see
Hmm.
someone making out and
Mm.
eating each other's faces. They can do that behind closed doors, for my part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for watching, listening, however you consume our podcast thingy, the Weeb Stop, and we will see you the next episode, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yay! Okay.
Yay.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.